And here we go, fight fans. Our next attraction, 3 rounds scheduled. This in the middleweight division. Making his way to the cage first and fighting out of the blue corner. From Sweden, here is Nilsson.
So here he is, Nilsson, representing Keisho Martial Arts. He has a record of 7-1-1. He's coming out of Helsingborg in Sweden. Caught up with him earlier, Josh, and he's just the nicest guy. Very intelligent, very articulate, but that aside, what a great grappler this guy is.
Oh yeah, very, very highly decorated. Brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Judo, so those complementing each other very, very well. Hasn't fought since April of last year, and you know, that encounter only lasted 1 minute and 41 seconds.
He spent some time at American Top Team recently and gained some really useful experience and some knowledge. He said it was a very, very valuable trip for him. He's got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt under Ricardo Carvalho. As I say, he was in Thailand as well when he accepted his fight, so he obviously takes his training very, very seriously. He goes all around the world with it.
Yeah, he has really been working on his striking. He likes to push forward, does have a big overhand right, and certainly when he can get the fight to the floor and work on top, he will look to land a lot of strikes in volume. And you know, he's very strong in his takedowns. He's got some great amplitude throws, some big pickups, and you know, he's going to need them against someone like Tommy Speer, though.
Yeah, he's beaten fellow Swede Magnus Sedenblad, who signed with the UFC earlier this month. And speaking with Mr. Nilsson, he said he's going to strike with the farm boy. On top of that, just as an aside in his career, he's wanted to secure a contract with one of the top associations for a bit of stability for earnings and activity. But for the meantime, he's got a pretty stiff test, and he seems happy to be here.
And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the red corner from the USA, please welcome Tommy Speer.
I personally am very excited to welcome Tommy Farm Boy Speer to Cage Warriors. He has a record of 19-5. He's originally from Minnesota and he's training with Fiore MMA. Now this guy has some serious mental toughness and great cardio. He's a power wrestler, used to fight at welterweight. He just quite simply fights like Matt Hughes.
Yeah, he is extremely experienced. Obviously everyone's aware of his 2008 loss in the UFC, but since then he's gone 8-2 and he's currently on a 4-fight winning streak.
Yeah, and he's currently on our MMA Junkie prep point with Rich Mitchell. Now he's come under scrutiny for his approach to fighting before. I mean, actual fact, his last loss was to Ryan Ford, who beat judoka Karo Parisian, and before that he's obviously, as you said, he's lost out to Matt Danzig at the Ultimate Fighter Series 6, but he's 10-2 in the last 4 years. I mean, you can't argue with that kind of record.
No, you can't, and he's been constantly working to become more well-rounded, working on his striking, and obviously his jiu-jitsu as well with Mario Roberto.
Yeah, Mark Fiore said it would be easier for him if Tommy was full-time with mixed martial arts, but he's very much attached to his family business.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 6 feet 1 inch tall. Official weight 185 1/4 pounds. As a professional, he brings an outstanding record into the cage, 7 victories, just 1 defeat, and 1 bout even. Hailing from Helsingborg, Sweden, here is Nilsson. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in 186 pounds even. A veteran inside the cage, he brings an outstanding professional record, standing 19 victories, just 5 defeats. He fights out of Springfield, Illinois, USA. Here is Tommy Speer. Referee in charge of the action, Nilsson.
It's a pleasure to be here in Beirut, Lebanon. My name is John Good and I'm accompanied cage side with Josh Palmer. We're about to get round 1 of this contest underway. Neil Hall is Just waiting for the cage door to be secured.
Yes. Let's go.
And here we go. Tommy Speer in the green trunks, Mats Nilsson in the black shorts.
Well, Tommy Speer wasting no time in opening with the strikes, driving forward to secure that clinch.
Yeah, straight away you can see how Tommy's looking to approach this fight. Very strong, powerful frame from the Fiore MMA fighter.
Good exchange of knees from both guys here.
Yeah, Tommy looking to pass Matt's hand across to make it a little easier for him to wrestle this down to the ground.
Single leg attempt, switching off to the double nicely.
Single straight to the but good defense by Nilsson. Mark Fiore saying look for the switch.
Nilsson showing some excellent balance here. But Tommy Speer completing the... Oh, and immediately Mats Nilsson is looking for the triangle.
Straight in, good control, but Tommy powers his way up.
Yeah, Nilsson got his hips out so quickly on the ground there, looking for possibly an omoplata, definitely the triangle setup.
So a nice open guard from Mats Nilsson as he looks for openings.
Watch the back of the head with the elbow. Okay, carry on.
Neil Hall warning Nilsson about the elbows to the back of the head.
Oh, hips coming out again very quickly from Mats Nilsson, climbing for the triangle off the armbar setup.
Yeah, but Tommy's out of that one. Giving Nilsson just a little bit of space to try and get back to his feet, and he's peeled off Speer's left hand, and he is in fact back in a standing contest.
Yeah, great work from Mats Nilsson with a very aggressive attacking jiu-jitsu game, forcing Tommy Speer to defend, creating enough space for him to get back to the feet, looking for the Kimura grip as the defense to this single leg here.
Yeah, I think if Mats Nilsson was looking to approach this with striking, he needs to be just that little bit quicker in getting his punches off. Because he's giving, I mean, you don't need to give Speer too many opportunities to shoot in.
Again, Tommy Speer looking to hit that single, switch off or pick the ankle maybe. But Nilsson just getting his sprawl nice and deep now. Immediately he's going to look to take the back. Seatbelt control here.
Yes, a nice control and transition from Mats Nilsson. Very, very skillfully done.
Just see how tight he's going to tuck his feet in, squeeze his knees here and look to...
Yeah, well, he's doing some damage.
Some strikes.
He's got a couple of left hands and elbows through. Trying to keep heavy on Tommy Speer. Look at the power of Speer as he just pushes Nilsson's leg aside.
Yeah, butterfly hooks here for the American. Looking for a donkey kick pass, perhaps, is Mats Nilsson. Stepping over very nicely to almost half guard.
Tommy not using the wall at this stage to try and get back to his feet. Still more worried about what Nilsson's going to throw in his direction.
Tommy's going to have to be careful. He's giving up that underhook control. It's going to allow Nilsson to put his back flat on the mat.
Yeah, Nilsson working diligently with some peppering strikes. Keep Tommy Speer guessing and having to defend himself as he maybe looks to advance his position. Trying to pass through to the half guard. Elbows again from Nilsson.
Yeah, good short elbows. Constantly working, constantly looking to land any form of damage on top.
Sure, and they will add up as this fight progresses. We're into the last 30 of round one.
Tommy Speer now with the knee shield, trying to create a bit of space.
They're getting the shin across the torso of Mats Nilsson, and Mats Nilsson switching his body weight round to the other side, but he's back in the guard, and we close off the first round here in Lebanon.
Stop fighting, stop.
Well, a good dominant round for Mats Nilsson. Once he got the fight to the floor, managed to control, land some good short shots, and really just constantly work to keep Tommy Speer on his back.
Yeah, sure. I think you've got to give that first round to Nilsson with the kind of work that he was doing. The lovely Natalie holding the ring cards for us this evening. What do you think the Fiore is going to be saying to Tommy in his corner?
It's a tough one. He's going to have to stay off his back, because clearly Mats Nilsson has the kind of grappling game that can put him in a whole lot of trouble. So he needs to look to work his strikes and get that takedown and get that top position. And when he's in that top position, he needs to look to do enough to stop Nilsson getting his hips out quickly. It's so easier said than done, though, because he chains those submission attempts together so fast.
Wrestling versus Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It wasn't how Nilsson wanted it to play out, but that's how it's seemingly go, or has certainly gone, the first round, which is now done and in the books. This is round 2. Cage Warriors Fight Night 3 in Beirut.
Yeah, Tommy Speer obviously used to fighting at welter.
Oh, good leg kick from Nilsson, with Tommy off balance, and once again he's on his back.
Yeah, straight away what we said Tommy Speer didn't want to see happen has unfortunately come to fruition. Beautifully timed.
Absolutely.
Low kick from Mats Nilsson. Tommy Speer looking to frame.
Watch the toes in the fence.
I mean, Tommy's only taken light damage so far. Nilsson's not managed to get the posture and the rotation to really sink anything in that's going to do or really trouble Mr. Speer as he's on his back.
Keep it busy, guys, come on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how the scrambles were going to play out in this fight. Obviously, wrestlers very, very adept at continually hustling, continually working for that takedown. But, you know, Mats Nilsson, having had that black belt in judo, is going to be used to those really short, explosive time frames where you have such a limited amount of time to work on the ground.
Yeah, and he's added his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt as well. And we can see that he's found a way to incorporate striking into his grappling style.
Yeah, stuffing the leg very nicely and stepping over. Let's see if he looks to sprawl out that knee shield and try and absolutely kill the hips of Tommy Speer.
Yeah, Tommy's still trying to neutralize Nilsson from throwing his strikes, and Nilsson's doing damage with that elbow. That's definitely getting through. Be interesting to see how the flight over from the States has affected Tommy Speer. It's a 24-hour trip for them. They've been telling me that they're good, but you know, you never know until you're deep into a mixed martial arts fight.
Yeah, I'm very, very surprised that Tommy Speer hasn't had a bit more impetus to create a frame, to push away and to stand back up here.
Some more explosive action. I mean, here he tried to get the foot on the hip to push off, and he's not really using the fence to much effect either. Maybe we're taking away from the skills of Mats Nilsson.
Look at this pass from Mats Nilsson, really nicely stepping round to try and isolate a single shin across the front of both of his thighs, and then use that to pass. Tommy Speer hip to that though, and countering nicely to get back to a half guard with the knee shield.
Looking to hop round to a side control if possible.
Busy, guys.
Here we go. Now looking to see, or expect Tommy to try and get back to his feet here, but Mats did a very nice job of just getting some elevation on his left leg, which is stopping Tommy from posting out and getting back to his feet.
Stop, stand.
Not enough action by the looks of things from for the liking of Neil Hall. And Tommy has an opportunity here to show some of his powerful wrestling and striking ability. A good, solid right hand, straight down the pipe. Oh, a great combination.
Yeah, he connected very nicely with the left hook, right cross.
Nice 2-3 from Tommy Speer. He's got to take advantage of this moment, Josh. He's had a reprieve.
Oh, but he's given a route straight to his back for Mats Nilsson. And
sure, you don't give that up to a judo player. He'll certainly take it. And straight into side control.
Yep, Shucking going to the back, looking for a head and arm choke though now. He's set it up all the way from the far side.
He's got the control. Is he going to take it there, Josh, or is he going to step across?
He's going to look to get his body weight off to the left-hand side, sink his hips really, really low to the mat. Be really nice to see him drop his weight back a little bit to then cinch it up that little bit tighter.
You can see him making these adjustments, Josh. Is the small
and he gets the tap from Mounts.
Tommy Speer has lost by arm triangle, and Mats Nilsson is our winner. A lovely display from the Swede here in Beirut. And Tommy looks really dejected, sitting there in the middle of the cage, now with his hands on his hips, but a great display from Mats Nilsson,
Yeah, we're so used to seeing the wrestler being the one grinding out the performance, you know, on the way to a win, but Mats Nilsson really just ground Tommy Speer down, and then finally, when he got the opportunity, cinched up the head and arm choke beautifully.
Well, if you haven't heard of Mats Nilsson, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely have now. He's just taken out one of the top guys from the USA who has fought a little bit earlier. Let's have a look at the tap there. Look how tight everything was. He made the small increments and cinching that was necessary to get the tap there in that second round. Beautifully done. A good demonstration of judo skill to set it up, and then Brazilian jiu-jitsu to finish it off.
Guys.
The fight is getting into the middle of the cage, and let's hand over to Joe, who's going to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 4 minutes, 17 seconds, round number 2, submission by arm triangle. Your winner, Mats Nilsson!
So Josh has now grabbed Mats. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Mats, jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. Jiu-jitsu coming out on top tonight. Talk us through what was a very nice arm triangle finish.
Yeah, what happened really? I saw it and I went for it. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it, so I kind of paced myself for a while. And then I thought, he's a tough guy to keep on bottom too, so just squeeze for the life of it and see what happens. And it worked, so I'm very happy.
It was an excellent performance, Mats. As you said, you controlled very well throughout the first 2 rounds. Did you expect to have an advantage on the ground?
Not really. I was expecting more of a stand-up fight. But then again, I'm not surprised he rushed me and took me down. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm just tired now.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank quickly?
Is there anyone I don't want to thank right now? Of course, Lebanon, Beirut. It's a wonderful place, wonderful city. It's a pleasure being here. Cage Warriors for the opportunity. Friends, family, girlfriend, the camp, you know, everything.
Mats, it was a fantastic performance, and I really hope we get to see you again on Cage Warriors. Thank you very much. Mats Nilsson, ladies and gentlemen.